1. Okay, so are we going to hear an echo? One, two, 1, 2. One, two, 3. Okay, well, no one's here. So I'm just going to talk about some of the things that were going on this week. And some things that were sent to me, and talk about a couple of those. So, as the title, yeah. So, as the title is the silent reboot, and nobody's here, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. How many of you take your mobile devices to the bathroom with you? Ouch. Don't lie, because you probably all do. We all do it. I don't know why, but we do. It's like a newspaper, right? Some of you heard the stories of our devices just going wonky. But I think it was Monday. My husband went to the bathroom and he took his phone with him. And he's like, wait a second. I don't want my phone spying on me. Because if you don't know, your phones, your cameras, they spy on you. They listen to you. They track you wherever you go. So he still had it on, but he put it under something, to cover the camera. And when he was finished doing his business, his phone had rebooted. Just like that. Now, some of you might think it's a coincidence. But if you're all aware that when you shut down your phone and you turn it on, it makes all kinds of noises. But whenever it doesn't want you to know, it's very silent, no sound whatsoever. So, my first experience with this actually was, I had an experience when we were in Logan, which was, well, it was before we went to Okinawa. So, maybe 2016, 2017. And where I knew, excuse me, where I knew it had been listening. But when we got to Okinawa, my phone didn't know what it was doing. It would silently, as it was sitting next to me, I wasn't messing with it, it would start typing and it would reboot. And I had so many problems with that phone, it wasn't even funny. And it was almost as if, it was being messed with in a way that was like, we we don't know where your phone is, we don't know where you're at, so we have to do something. So we had that happening, and then, as you all know, I homeschool, and my phone, I think, was in the living room, and I was in my son's room, and we were talking, and it was about school. I don't remember exactly what, but I said, well, let me go check it, because he was doing, his schoolwork, and I didn't want to interrupt him with what he was doing. And I went to get my phone, and I put two letters, and what popped up in the search bar? Exactly what we were talking about. So, if you guys aren't aware, which it's 2026, so you should all know that whatever device you have, it's tracking you, it's listening to you, and it can see you. So if you take your phone or your tablet into the bathroom, make sure the cameras are covered. And that's all I got to say about that. We also put tape on our buttons. So, because they like their fingerprints as well, their fingerprint scanners and stuff. So we put tape on it, and so cover cameras and anything that can scan your fingerprints, and VPNs. Now, my thought process on the VPNs is this: I believe that these VPN companies are also controlled, because every time someone in the CIA or FBI they retire, guess what? They create these VPN companies, or some kind of security company to help you, right? Well, I don't know about you guys, but ever since I have been woken up from this, all I see is data being stolen. Oh, give us your passwords, give us this, give us that. And then you're hacked. You're doing everything they tell you to do, and yet your information is being stolen. Hey, we're going to make your life safer. We're selling you a VPN. So you get a VPN, and then you find yourself not being able to get onto websites because they have security issues saying, oh, you're not a real person. And, you have to jump through hoops. I don't even play that game. If I can't get onto your website, then I'm going to go somewhere else. Um, But we do use VPNs. And I think one of the reasons why they're always messing with our mobile devices is because we do make it a little harder. Our information is personal. We don't want you to have it. There's a reason why if you're promising something that's going to keep your information safe, then that's what we want and that's what you should be abiding by. But every time you log into something, whether it's Facebook or this or that, and you're on a different device and you have a VPN on, we don't recognize this login. Well, should you? I mean, it's not yours, it's mine. I have all the right credentials, you know. All right, well, that I just wanted to let you know about the silent reboot because it happens all the time to us. It can be sitting right next to us. All of a sudden, it's a secret. We're turning you off and we're going to turn you back on, which I also believe that they're probably installing something that you wouldn't want. I don't update anymore. So, I don't know. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about is sad. I had to frog my entire top. Everything from the waist down was done. All I had to do was the top, and no, it was too small, and I had, trapezoids this way and that way. I was like, it didn't like those two stitches together that I was doing. So, all of that work, and it'll probably take me a whole year to figure out how to make my own top. But I'm still hanging in there. I'm still hanging in. Okay, what else? So I also want to let you all know, just a second. Just give me 1 second. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go to distractions. Well, there's a lot of distractions out there. This one in particular has to do with the Bible, and when you learn a little bit more, then you can back up a little bit and say, okay, I wasn't quite right about that, and then proceed on. Whenever something becomes popular, I know that it's not true. God wasn't popular. He wasn't popular with his people. Jesus wasn't popular in his day. God in the flesh come into the world and he's not popular. And quite frankly, the word hasn't been popular even with the people who say they're Christian. And then I'm going to tell you the distraction. The distraction is that words are important, and they are. Words are very important. Okay? So when these people and everybody starts to talk about this, that Bible has been changed and it's been changed and it's been changed. Yes, because first of all, It goes from one language, the original language, into the language that you speak. And during, when centuries later, language changes, um, some interpreter, whoever gets to decide, what that really means at the time, gets to rewrite it, and that's gonna all be on them. But the distraction is this, is that they want you to think that the Word of God is null and void, and it's not. So I wish you guys would put on your discernment cap and not fall for this. Um, yes, I was sent a video today, and if someone watches this later, you're going to know that I'm talking about the video that you sent. Look, the Lord can work through anyone, and we just need to be paying attention and have a little discernment and take everything to the Father. Everything. Anyway, when this person is making this video and showing different Bibles, a new one versus an old one, and I think the oldest one that this person showed was like a 1755. Really? Well, that one that you're reading right there, Missy, is not the original. What language did our Messiah speak? He spoke Aramaic, which meant a lot of his disciples did as well. So it was in Aramaic that they were writing down, Aramaic, and maybe Paul was writing Aramaic and Greek. So he was a Roman citizen, so he understood the Greek language and the Aramaic. And then what happened? They were being condemned after Jesus was crucified. And when he sent his disciples out and they went to one town to another town, they wrote the the church, the new people that were coming in. By the way, Jews became Christians. They were the first Christians. Maybe the centurion was the first Christian. I don't know. But anyway, the majority of them spoke Aramaic. So they were writing, and the Pharisees, the scribes, they were hunting them down and murdering them and burning everything that they had, and or copying or recopying and rewriting. Remember in the Old Testament where it says the lion pens and scribes, or the lion pens of the scribes? Let's remember that. So um, we have to get off of this kick where, you know, everything is either bad or good, when the fallen are here and they want you so messed up here and here that they use every trick in the book, and you just fall for it all the time. Now, I'm glad that a lot of you guys look into this kind of stuff, but it's not that simple. I wish it were. But when the Lord told me that the lies are so great that you're not going to know if you're coming or going, that's what it means. So, um, okay, well, I haven't gotten information back on this other thing. So, look, I'm reading the Aramaic, into English, and let me blow this up so I can see better. I'm going to read Revelations 22:18 through 19. I testify to everyone who hears the word of the prophecy of this book. Whoever will place upon these things, excuse me, God shall place upon him excuse me, guys, upon him the plagues that are written in this book. And whoever subtracts from the words of the scripture of this prophecy, God shall subtract his part from the tree of life and from the holy city, those things which are written in this book. I think that's different than your versions. Let me go to Bible Hub here. Let's see what the King James says. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. It's similar. It's a little different, but it's similar. Um, this doesn't have. This doesn't have the Geneva. Let's just do a look-see here. Oh, well, they did have it, 1587, okay. They don't make it simple to find. All right. For I protest unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall diminish of the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy cities and from those things which are written in this book. Actually, this one is more close to the Peshitta, the Aramaic, than any of the other ones, I think. So that's interesting. So I just think that we all need to be taking all of these things. There's an overload, okay? An overload. People, they work hard for very little, and then they just overload themselves on trash. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, just Twitter, whatever it's called. Um, there's a sensory overload, and I don't trust any of them. Matter of fact, like if you guys are watching my video, and it looks weird and stuff, you guys should tell me, like if there's anything strange going on. Like, I literally don't trust any of these people. And let's see, TikTok was owned by the Chinese, then I think they sold it to Israel. You can't trust them, okay? I'm just saying. You have, let's see if I can. Uh, let's see if you guys can see that. You can't. Okay, you can't see that. I'm gonna read something that I found. People are passing around. It's coming from Living Patriots. Democrats controlled power for 12 of the last 16 years. Can't count. Okay, so it's actually 14. Let's see, for 12 of the last 16 years, but it's actually, I think, less than that, right? Because Trump's already halfway through. So you're showing ignorance, can't count. It's terrible. Everything is still Trump's fault, and now they swear They're the fix. Make that make sense. What are we, 2 years old? And why are they repeating the same kind of stuff the Democrats would say? And people are like, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. What? He lies every single day. Every day. He's got us into more wars. And I'm not saying nobody should be coming at me like, oh, then you love the Democrats. No, stop it right now. I've already told you I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't believe in that crap. And so, like, it has to be pride, right? Like, pride keeps you there. Like, you can't see, you don't want to see the truth. It will just make your head explode. You voted for him probably 2 or 3 times. And so, pride won't let you back down, it won't let you repent. And it's just insane. It's insanity. Real insanity. All right. So next, oh, I did want to touch on this. I was talking to someone today, and they just brought up, the conversation wasn't about what I'm going to talk about. It was, but for whatever reason, when you're talking about something, then something else comes to the forefront, right? And this is about sin. Like, if you're a Christian, right? Um, how do I put this without giving too much information or personal information away? I don't know. Um, but say you're a Christian, right? And you're following someone, to see what they're up to, where they go, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's just going to get personal. I remember as a kid, I always thought my dad was crazy. Like, all the things that he would say, I thought he was crazy. And come to find out, he wasn't as crazy as I thought he was. And he always thought that someone was following him. Now, the people that were following him, um, I don't know if they ever came and told him later on that they were doing it, but they just let him look like a crazy person. Now, you tell me, one person isn't a Christian, so, you know, I guess he's sort of off the hook, but the other is. And, like, how do you do that? And why do you think it's funny? Like, it's not. You made someone look crazy, and they weren't perfect. They did some pretty crappy stuff, actually. And but how does that make you any better? Huh? How does that make you any better? All right. Now, the last thing before I go, I want to. Now, I'll say personal prayers later. Um, if if you find this later and you want to put a prayer request in the comments, then go ahead. I'll just say that anyone suffering from any kidney illnesses, thyroid, you're in my prayers. And anyone who has been a smoker and has quit, look, I know all about it. I know how difficult it is. And God bless you for, quitting. It's, for yourself more than anything. And it's difficult. It's real. How many of you guys know me and how many times I quit and then start back up, quit and start back up? You guys know I had a really, really hard time. So, my heart and my prayers go out to anyone who is going through something like that, you know. And Gary, he has surgery on the 19th to remove a stent for his kidney. So, family, if you're going to watch this later, pray for him. Tina has had thyroid issues, so pray for her as well. And I guess that is all for me today. I hope you guys have a great night. I love you all. My prayers go out to you. And yeah, that's it. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.